Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Got Whips. It is Friday, December 20th. We're on episode 103. It is later on in the afternoon, so it's not morning. Um, I've worked, Nicci did not work, but that's fine. Anyways, I'm Heather. I'm coming to you from Southern California. I almost said Central Wisconsin, not
Oh,
me.
that's me.
Yeah, yeah, that's not me. Um, and yeah, we would like to welcome any new and returning viewers. Thank you for checking us out.
I'm Nikki, like she said, from Central Wisconsin. Where to find us is always linked down below for our Ravelry, our Instagram, our email for the podcast, and then also, our Instagrams for our personal.
Yes, and I want to say because I got a new follower on Instagram. I my account is private,
Like
but
what?
if I go to your account or like if you send me a message, if your account was private too, I completely understand. But if you send me a message, hey, I'm so and so, I follow you, or, I'm a friend of the podcast, or whatever, I will add you to.
Yep.
It's just my account is private because I post pictures of my kids. But
And mine is also for the same reason for my nieces, nephews. I post so.
yeah, so just send us a message, let us know that you're a crafter and want to follow our personal Instagrams, and we will add you.
Yep.
Just want to put that out there.
This is a podcast YouTube channel about all of our crafting. We do not discriminate. There are some times where I'm very stitch heavy or I'm very knit heavy, and the other one is lacking.
Yeah, I will say
So
the same thing for me.
just
Honestly,
want to
right.
throw that out in the beginning. We don't have a rhyme or reason. Sometimes we start with knitting and crocheting. Sometimes we start with cross stitch. Fast forward, I guess, if you're here for one or the other, we apologize, but we don't want to do two channels.
Right, exactly. And I would say honestly, right now, for me personally, if it wasn't for our current cow or a baby shower present that I have, not that I have to, but that I'm making, I would only be doing cross stitch. I don't know, I'm in the season of my life where I don't have my yarn crafty mojo, I guess.
And mine's been gone for the most part for 2 years, and it's starting to come back this year, like this month.
Yeah.
So
So, like I have sock yarn that I really, when I purchased it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make every sock, blah, blah. I have socks on the needles that after we did our whip parade, I pulled it out because I was like, I haven't touched these in I don't even know how long, and I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm not gonna knit this right now. So
yep,
yeah. Anyways, enough waffling. Um, do you have any finished objects, Nicole?
I do. I do. I have a couple different things. So since the last time we saw you, I was having some trouble with my shoulder again. If you've been here a while, you know that I've fought with this on and off. So I found my what's knitting machine. It's a Centro, and that's the 40 needle one. And I decided to start using up some of the acrylic that I've received. Um, either from people who stopped knitting or just randomly gave it to me. However I acquired it. So I did crank out this scarf first and all these blues, and this was just a cupcake yarn from um Karen. Yeah, I
Karen,
think
yeah.
Karen.
Mhm.
So that's all the colors of it. I'm just gonna weave in the ends. That's the only thing I forgot to do on this one. So, and I did this during the Packer game 2 weeks ago that me and my husband were watching, and I never realized how much cranking can hurt your other shoulder.
Mhm.
Like during the time I was doing it, was fine, wonderful. The next day, went to go with JJ to Oshkosh, which is a half hour away from us, biggest city near us. And like I got in the car and I was like, ow. He's like,
Yeah.
what? Did I hit you? And I was like, no, I can't move my arm. Like to do that, because I crank with my right arm and it was insane. Then last weekend during the Packer game, I started this one, also a
It's
Karen.
pretty.
So um these I'm just gonna try to use up some of the acrylic yarn I have and donate these or give them as gifts. So it's just the grays and the pinks and the purples. Super soft. This one, everything's woven.
Yeah.
So those are my two knit. Technically I didn't knit it, I cranked it, but whatever. I count it as a.
Yeah. Whatever.
So
I,
last time I showed you guys that I finished these four. Now I have Warren's, Remy's.
no, it's cute. I like that one.
This one is Austin and Zane. So I'm down to only needing five or six more. So I think I can get another one here
Mm-hmm.
and three and three. So I think I won't have to use another piece, but we will see. And then I'll turn
I
them into little pillows, I think.
I think the last time you recorded, you only had, or last time we recorded, you only had the top three.
Oh, okay. So this is Hunter's. So it's like a blaze orange with the H.
Mm-hmm. And isn't the top middle one Warren's?
Oh, you're right. So this one's Warren's, this one's Wayland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you had
Yeah, there's too many kids. There's 23 of these things. Dang it.
you had Henrik's, Warren's, and Harvey's done last time.
Okay. So yeah, I got Hunter's done.
That's cute. I like that one.
And it's the same colors. I just added the blaze orange as Warren's, and like Warren's is this way vertical, and this is vertical. This one's horizontal. So because out of the ones I just made, Waylon, Remy, Austin, and Zane are all one family, and then there's one more for a little girl in that family. Our niece has five.
How many mittens did you finish this week? Or
This week, six, no, five, five.
five mittens. I'm taking my notes as you talk.
No problem. So that is all my finishes. So I have one knitting and crocheting project, and that's it for that because I left my other ones at work.
I do too. I have one.
So I'll let you talk first because I just did a whole bunch.
Okay. So my one is, as I mentioned before, I am making this is a knick-knack knits bag. I am making a baby blanket for my coworker. She's having her first baby girl. And let me fix this real quick. So I'm
You left
doing
that short.
the, huh?
I said you left that loop short. Oh,
It was still attached to my hook.
gotcha.
I was knit the last time I crocheted this was on Evelyn's birthday because we were playing villains and I was sitting at the table crocheting while it was everybody else's turn. So yeah. So this is the Rainbow Ripple Baby Blanket. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. This yarn is it's one of those Bernat baby, the big jumbo skeins in the Tulip Fields colorway.
It's
So
pretty.
it's like pinks and oranges and green and white. And yeah, so she just announced to me today that she's 7 months pregnant, so I have to get on the ball.
Oh boy.
But she says that she's working until like she's working until she goes into labor or they force her to stop because she wants the most of her maternity leave. and they told her that if she leaves early, then it counts for the maternity leave. So she's like, I'm
Like,
gonna stay until I either have the kid or the doctor forces me to stop.
yeah.
I was like, okay, well, still, I have to. I didn't tell her, but in my head, I'm
In your
thinking,
head, you're thinking it.
I'm like, okay, I still got to get on the ball. Like, it's not even a doll blanket yet.
And my one that I have here at home is a crochet um Christmas blanket that I'm making for Harvey, just whenever I get it done. It's a corner to corner, but I'm showing it this way because the last time you guys saw it, I was down here at the Penguin. So um I'm at the point where like I'm just going up to build length.
Hmm.
Like I've stopped increasing on that side and I'm still increasing on this side. So I'm gonna move the stitch marker quick. I was hoping to get more done on this, but with everything we've been doing, like I can't. I did find my one of my missing objects that we talked about in the whip parade, which was my Musselberg. I found that while we were deep cleaning one of the rooms,
Mm.
and it was actually stuffed in a box that had started to go for Goodwill. So
Oh,
yeah, um, I found that in there. I found one of my Stephen West shawls, like one of my favorite shawls that I wear all the time in there. So I don't know what exactly happened, but I got the hat back. I started where I had left off, and unfortunately, I didn't realize I wouldn't be going to work today to bring it back to show you guys. And this crochet blanket is living in one of my bags that I made way back when, which was a blanket bag.
is the yarn you're using for the corner to corner? What is it?
It's all scraps of red heart, red, green, and white. It was just stuff I had laying around the house. So at some point, I'm gonna have to take this blanket into one of the box stores and try to, you know, color match it. I know it was probably red heart because that was part of the yarn grandma had when we still lived before I got married over 16 years ago. So, oh, and I left my crochet hook out. And I'm using a K for a crochet hook.
Oh, I'm using an H. Okay, I only have three. Oh,
I have 7.
I know. So
So
good.
I guess I can do 2 and then you do one. My newest one, I just started like 2 days ago.
Oh,
Um, so it's a little bit of a shock to Heather. This is a free pattern that we got last year on Instagram from Shannon Christine Designs. And so I started this little snow globe and it's on opalescent 14 count. I don't know if you can see the shiny.
here you can. Right there.
So I'm doing the snow globe and it has the snowman. So here's his arms, and then I got all the outside done. So um
Yes, because you need another project.
so no, okay. So my 2 managers, there's the Nike manager and then there's the sewing manager who oversees all of us in that department.
Mhm.
And they got us all gifts. And so I was like, oh, I should try to make them an ornament or something. So that's how this became about. And then I
Okay.
was like, or I should start for next year so I can give them a gift and like, some of the closer gals at work. So I started this with what I had in hand. And so you guys saw that I got the storage system. So I had started putting that in there. I just pulled out what I had in the house here, realized 4 of the colors I needed for I didn't have. So we had to stop at Hobby Lobby. So later and on, I'll explain why I just told you all that. Then my next project that I had was one of our polls, because me and Heather always pull 2 things to work on in between podcasts. One of mine was the dandelion. This was my original start. White with a whole bunch of shades of white for the dandelions. I hated it. So I started to try to pull it out and I was like, screw it, I'll pull it out later in life. And I restarted it on this blue.
Much better.
Frozen Lake. I got just as much as I had and then some. So I know it's really bright right now in here because I have to use the actual lighting. So you're not seeing everything, but I promise in person you can. This is
No, you can see it a
20.
lot better.
Okay. This is Frozen Lake 20 count Ada by Be Stitch Me. So I'll just hold that up real quick. And I'm loving it now. Um, this is my first time using the 20 count since I joined the club, and I'm liking it.
Yeah, you should see the text message I got.
1/1 stitching is on it is interesting when I first started because I was like, oh, my eyes are not ready for this. So it is up on you now.
It's tiny. It's my turn, I know.
It is your turn.
And I did not write down notes for what you just said.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so my first one that I'm going to show you is a poll. If I can find what I want. Okay. So one of my polls was my snow globes. And pretty much after we stopped or we finished recording 3 weeks ago, I decided I want to just knock that out because but that's basically how I've been treating our polls. Like the one that I'm least not least excited about or least interested in, but the one that I feel like is going to be the dread or like the slog to get finished,
Yeah.
I'm knocking that out first. And because I only had the bottom section of the snow globe to do, it's a lot of color changes. So I knew that was going to take a minute to finish. So I knocked that out first. So here's my first completed snow globe without the back stitching. And basically, as you'll see in the picture, I had to fill in most of this base. All of this stuff was done already. And so this took me 623 stitches to finish.
Wow.
You don't think, like, looking at it, you're like, no way, you're insane. That did not take you 623. It did. I texted Nicci and I was like, I remember we were like, she's like, are you finished yet? And I was like, no, I'm not finished yet. And like I sent her a picture of what I had to go, and she's like, okay, like you should like there's no way. And she's like, she just kept saying like there's no way it's taking that many stitches to finish that. It's no way. I was like, yes,
And
it
I look at
is.
the one on my wall, like, really? It took that many stitches?
Yeah, it really did. And then I saved all the white for last, and I was like, all I have left is the white to finish in. I was to fill in, and she's like, oh my gosh, okay. But yeah, total stitch count for this was 623 stitches to finish
Nice.
that. So, as I said before, I'm gonna put them all on this one piece. So I'm just gonna skip a couple inches and start the next one. I didn't at the time because I was like, I'm just over this, and I had finished my stitch goal, so I did not do.
I
I didn't
understand.
get any
Because
stitches to fill in.
that dandelion that I just showed was like just like 498 is what I put in it. I was like, nope, for 2 more stitches, I'm not doing it because normally I do 500.
Yeah,
There's 6 different shades of white and gray in what I just showed you.
yeah, it's crazy.
It doesn't look like it right now,
No, but it's
but all right. My next pull was um Evergreen by the Fat Quarter Shop, and I got all the outlining done. So literally all I have to do is go and fill all this in now. And I did over 1,000 stitches, I think, in this one. Did all this so that I could use this for the jingle ball. Did I stitch on it once at the jingle ball? No, not at all. But
Did you stitch during the Jingle Ball?
I did stitch. Do I remember what I stitched? One of these 7 projects or all of them. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember what you stitched
I've
during.
slept since then. I've had doctor visits with surgeons and just nightmare of a life for the last couple weeks. Hence the reason why we're a little bit late. Um, and then
We're late because of Jingle Ball
yeah, well, and
and
life,
Evan's birthday.
yeah. So during Jingle Ball, I know on the Sunday, I did do some of my temperature stitching, and I got my flamingo gnome. I started color completing, but look, it's got a nose started,
Yeah,
and the flamingo's almost done.
your mom's gonna love that.
I don't want to give it to her now.
No, I don't either. I knew you were gonna say that.
And
I
okay, like
wouldn't
you've
want
been
to
cross
either.
stitching a lot longer than me. And I know that blends were like a huge thing back in the day.
Oh
This
yeah.
has got a lot of blends.
Hmm.
I absolutely love it.
I like the final result. I don't like doing it.
So I don't know. Like I can see me doing this one for myself too, but this is 14 count. And now that I've like, because I started this one in my second or third month of learning how to cross stitch. So I feel like I'm gonna do it again for myself, but I'm gonna go to either 18 or 20 count on it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go any small. I wouldn't go any smaller than 18 if you're gonna do the blends.
Yeah.
Because
But it's so I don't know, it's coming to life now.
yeah, it
So I
is.
love it. I love her little shoes. So I got all the greens and I think I have one more shade of green put in there. And I
That's
know he looks creepy without his eye, but
you can't even tell. It's cute. It's adorable. She's gonna love
it
it, and
is
I don't blame you for not even wanting to give it to her.
not at all. Like I'm like, do I have to? Of course I don't have to, but
You don't
I
have.
will because that's what I intended to make this for.
Okay, so my next one, I'm going a little, well, not really out of order, but this was not one of my pulls, but I decided that I wanted to stitch on something during the Jingle Ball. And oh, jeez. Okay, yeah. One moment, please. Because I have it reversed in my hoop, so you wouldn't be able to see. So anyway, so I decided I wanted to stitch on something that was not one of my pulls for the Jingle Ball. I wanted to stitch on something specifically just for the Jingle Ball. Don't ask me why, because then I was stressing out about getting my 500 stitches on my Christmas wreath, but I made it, so that's fine. So,
Sometimes you have to push yourself a little bit harder.
yeah, but like I was thinking about, I was like, if I had just stitched on my pulls, then like I would have gotten so much more done, but whatever. Um, so I decided to pull out my Christmas calendar. That's not what it's called. It's called the Kwai Winter Sampler, something like that.
Yes.
It's
Across
from
the pumpkin.
Frosted Pumpkin. So I pulled this out. I don't have a before picture, so I'll see if I can find one on a past episode. But this is what I got done. So I
Oh, you got a
finished.
couple.
I worked on this present. I just need to fill in the spots are going to be a different color. I stitched and restitched and ripped out this birdhouse and bird a couple times. And then this is going to be a mug of tea. So this is a
Okay.
mug and those are the eyes. And I stitched this frame. So like these two frames were already done, but I had to stitch this frame to do it. And my total stitch count for the weekend, only what like the physical stitches that stayed. I didn't calculate my stitching and then rip out stitching, was 565 stitches.
Oh, nice.
So I feel like I would have gotten a lot more done if I had not had to rip out so many times. And really, I only ripped out twice, but it was a lot. That birdhouse, I don't know what it was about that birdhouse, but I just not, I could not wrap my brain around counting that, and I was trying to fudge it, and I was like, the bird's off. No, now the house is off, and it just I Nikki's like, you're not gonna be happy unless you just take it out and redo it. I was like, okay, you're right. Fine, you're right.
Because I know Heather.
Yeah, where something would have been fine for Nikki to fudge it and be fine with it, I would have been stressing out about it. People are gonna know. People are gonna see that it's not perfect and it's
One stitch. Like, they're never going to know.
unrealistic pressures that I put on myself. Is yeah, that's what that is.
So my next one is my Happy Holiday Gnomes.
I like that.
This is also part of my temperature stitching. So I did do this one during Jingle Ball, and I got the sleigh with both shades of red, which you can't even tell there's two shades of red in that. Or at least I can't.
It looks like red and black.
Right. And it's red and hunter green. There's two reds and then the hunter green. And then I started the light bulbs and I backstitched some of the wire. So, but across that's like, I think it's like 200 and some odd stitches from here to here. So I got quite a bit done, even though it doesn't look like it. So I'm pleased with that progress. I'm pleased to have some of the back stitching done. I will say that. And then my other one I got for temperature stitching, I did some work on my Halloween wreath, which was very hard for me to do because I had done so much of it in September and October that I was just like, I don't wanna. So I got all these candies. So I got this pumpkin, candy corn, the popsicle stick, these little giblets, this one. I think that's everything that I put in. And it was like 300 stitches for temperature. I didn't do real good notes this time, guys. I did not calculate what I did. When we come back with the plans video is when I'm going to tell you how many stitches I did this entire year. But other than that, like, that's the last of my stats I will give for this year. December came and I'm just like, shut down. I barely took notes to know what I did every day for the last 3 weeks in stitching, let alone anything else. And I'm blessed without my calendar, so.
I don't know about my year count. I know about my count between podcasts.
Yeah. And see, and I know because every month I would give a total of how many I did. So you have one more and I have one more.
So my next one was a pull. It is my Christmas wreath. And I got exactly 500 stitches because I was stressing. I finished these 500 stitches while my son was vacuuming the floor and 30 minutes ago. No, not 30 minutes ago, but before we started.
Yeah.
I told Matthew to vacuum the floor while I was at work and he did not. So I told him he had to do it before I recorded. And I told him Aunt Nikki's waiting. So get it done. And I had 467 before he started vacuuming. And I finished at 500.
Nice.
All I had was like a piece of this.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah.
You'll see in the before picture. All I had was a few rows. So I did all this middle knot, these two side pieces of the bow, and now I'm up to here doing this will be one of the loops, and then one of the loops is over here.
There's a lot of stitching in those bows.
So I have reached my goal for this pull, but I'm not putting it away. I'm going to continue stitching on it because
There you go.
I don't know how long I'm going to continue stitching on it, at least for this week, Christmas week. I'm going to
Yeah.
stitch tomorrow because I want to, and it's my birthday and I can do what I want. Excuse me. So yeah, that's what I got.
Gotcha. All right. My last one is my Castle Homecoming, which was a sale 2 years ago from Frosted Pumpkin. I have
Last year.
strings okay, last year, whatever. I don't know.
This year. No,
No, this year was Arctic. Yeah.
last year.
So I got, I want to say like 400. But so I finished the monster on this down here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went up and gave her her dress and legs.
That's good because she was ahead for a long time.
Uh-huh. She was just a floating head. And then I did some more on the horse. The main mang over here. Right there. And I did the grass and the frog. So yeah. That's all our stitching. Plans, I guess. Or we can do polls.
I only have one left.
Yeah, you have one poll and you're gonna keep your Christmas wreath out, so you technically have two.
Technically, but I mean, if I get 500 stitches again on the wreath, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to because I'm going to continue working on the bow, and Lord knows there's like a gazillion stitches in that bow.
Right.
But if I don't, then whatever, I don't care.
That's okay.
So I'm just pressing my wheel for shits and giggles because it can only tell me Gilmore-isms. So Gilmore-isms.
Unfortunately, I have too many still. So I will spin mine here. My Celtic Cross.
I like that one.
And then my next one.
Month to month May.
Okay.
You like that one?
I do. And then I will say this part of the plan because I haven't even told Heather because I just came up with it today. And I don't know if I should pull it right now or not. I want to pull one that I use as a focus for the entire month of January. So like our weekly ones that we do, I do 500 and then I want to pull one that I get, between 500 and 1,000 stitches on. So I don't know, should I pull that right now?
I think you should think about this some more.
Why?
Because we signed up for the Heaven and Earth sale.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I shouldn't do that.
You should not do that. So no, that's a bad plan. I'm sorry, but that's a bad, at least
okay. It's not a realistic plan.
It's not a realistic plan. At least not right away. Because if you
maybe once I get the first, like I get the clue done in the first few months and I have extra time.
Yeah. If you have extra time, sure.
Yeah.
By all means, knock it out. My plans, we're going to start the one that's for my birthday, that we're not starting on my birthday because I don't have the stuff. You can start it. You can start it.
I haven't even started like putting the thread on thread drop, so I'll start that part of it.
Whatever. I told her she's like, I'm not starting it until you start it. I was like, start it. Like it's gonna take us 10 years to do it anyway. Just get it going. I don't care. You don't have to be like, I'm gonna wait for Heather. I don't care. So we're doing that, which is the Christmas house.
So you can put up a picture.
Yeah, I can put up it's this. It's a black and white picture, but you get the gist. It's a Christmas house. I'll put up a picture. God dang. Um, it's a Christmas house by,
I have my fabric. It's right here.
I don't even have that. Donna Gelsinger, Gelsinger, whatever. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. Um, so we're doing that. It's supposed to be my birth start, but not on my birthday. And then we both signed up for the Heaven and Earth yearly sale. I'm doing
I was gonna say, don't ask me the name of yours.
I'm doing something about Unicorn Valley. Unicorn Valley of Waterfalls by Jane Patrick Cransey.
And I'm doing Jelly World, Jellyfish World. So
Yeah. So I mean, we have big plans.
we do. We
We
do.
have really big
And
items.
here's all the floss for both of those for me, for both the Sal and Heather's.
Oh, I only have the floss for the Sal in here
Yep.
because that's all I purchased. I'm hoping I get birthday
Yep.
stuff. My birthday's tomorrow.
Her birthday is tomorrow, which starts our year of doing 40 whips for Heather before her 40th. And Gabriel decided to come in there when he's not supposed to be in right now. Poor Heather. And Gabriel's not listening. So, um, we also, last time we recorded, right after we recorded, I got this book in the mail that I bought secondhand off of Facebook Marketplace. And it is all my nostalgic heart loves all the old Rudolph. So
Make them for me.
so like look, how can you not want to make all those? Aren't they adorable?
Yes.
And so I figured like I can make some of these for Christmas ornaments and let people pick. And like Heather said, oh, make them for me. Like I have to make a set for myself, of course. But also I know like Heather and other friends who grew up watching the original movies. What I like, I'm trying to turn the page so nobody can see. But look, they made stand-ups out of like doing it on 11 count.
That's cute.
So those will be coming out eventually next year in my stitching life. And then yesterday I got my He Stitched Me monthly. So if you want to be surprised, don't look. This I get it on 20 count, and this is a little sassy. So
That's
it's
cute.
blue and grays and browns. And I really like it.
Is that club affordable?
Yes.
And how big is the piece you usually get?
I get a quarter yard.
So is it a fat quarter?
Oh, I think so. Sorry for the crinkle, guys.
18 by 36?
I don't have a tape measure right here, but I'll hold it up. So that's is why, or so I'd say it's a fat quarter.
Yeah, let's get a fat quarter.
But I just love her modeling, and it's pretty. So she has a neutral and a color, or a bit of both, and I did a bit of both. Or I did the color one. I thought about doing the neutral one too, but not this year, not yet.
And you get it monthly?
I do.
Hmm.
I like getting my fabric monthly.
Do they have options to get bigger pieces?
Oh yeah.
Not that I will need a bigger piece, but just wondering.
I think there's the quarter in the yard, and like I think it's like $20 I get for the quarter with tax and everything and shipping,
Oh, that's
I
good.
think. And then I think the other one was like 40 some dollars for like the yard, and I don't need a yard.
Mm-mm.
Like if I need something that big, I want to be able to customize what color I'm getting.
Right, right, yeah.
So that is it. That is all I have. Of course, I bought some patterns at Jingle Ball. They're PDFs, so when I start making them is when you'll see those. Because I didn't print anything out. My printer's not liking me today.
Yeah, I didn't bring yeah. I got the free patterns that the shops offered.
Nope. And I've seen some people already have those done.
I know. Well, one of the ladies from the it was someone we were in on Sunday. One of the meet and greets we were in on Sunday
Yeah.
already had her freebie done.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, a lot of you guys are really fast.
Yeah, and if that's all, I mean, if that's all you're doing while you're watching meet and greets and hanging out on tables, then it can
Yeah.
happen. I mean, I got 565 stitches done. You got over 1,000.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's doable.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
So
Do you have any Jingle Ball recaps?
I really
Any
enjoyed my
thoughts?
time. I liked all the meet and greets. I did a couple rounds of speed dating. I hopped in on a couple of the designer or floss tubers tables.
Hmm.
I didn't do a lot of talking,
Yeah.
really. Um, was just there was a lot going on during the Jingle Ball just here that I had to keep running in and out. So yeah,
Yeah. It was it was fun. I enjoyed the meet and greets. The meet and greets were nice to just have on in the background. Like there was a couple designers that I wasn't too familiar with, so wasn't really like keen on being, so like keeping super close attention to, but having it on in the background while stitching or
or
folding
getting to
laundry
know new ones.
yeah, that was fun too. Um I did go into a couple of the designer tables. I didn't go into like any of the other ones. There was a lot. Like there's like tables for everything.
Yeah,
You think of a common interest that you could have with someone else, and there's a table for it. Pretty much anything.
yep.
Um, I didn't talk. We went into the frosted pumpkin, and what was the other table we went to?
Satsuma Street.
Yes. Um, I enjoyed the entertainment. If you weren't doing anything, you can just play the entertainment. I would say the only thing that I would say, if I could say anything, is some of the tables that we did want to go into Saturday night, we couldn't because they were full.
Yeah, but there
So,
has to be a limit too. I get that part.
yeah.
I
So
do like they're
maybe
doing seven this year
seven, what?
of like other virtual meets, or no, five,
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 yeah.
five. So
Well,
I do like that.
five other ones, and the Jingle Ball will be her sixth of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't follow the Jingle Ball on Instagram, I totally would, because that's where their Lindy Stitches is gonna put up the other ones. I do like the idea of doing the weekend, the weekend of Nashville
Yeah, me too. I
Market.
like that. Hmm. Yeah,
You
and I
know,
mean,
I
I
did do the Super Bowl one last year.
you did?
I did, and I did the summer stitch event this summer.
Yeah.
And then the Jingle Ball. This was my third Jingle Ball, so I've been to all of them, and they've improved greatly since the first one. There was no huge crashes or anything this time, so that was great.
That's great, yeah.
Um, But yeah,
Really?
I don't.
This is the third year? So the first one was 2022?
Yeah,
I didn't go to last year's.
right.
Why not? I don't know.
So
Yeah, I mean for what you're paying $10. I mean, come on.
the
Like,
shopping alone is worth that if you
yeah,
just want to grab the Jingle Ball Baubles book every year.
yeah, yeah. The shopping alone and the meet and greets, I would say, alone. Because you get to see sneak peeks of what the designers are putting out next year.
Yep.
You get to hear their design process. You get to hear things that are in the works. Maybe you may not be able to see sneak peeks of the pattern, but they tell you what they have planned for the next year. Um, what to keep an eye out for, the sales that they're running, the like Lindy Stitches talked about the virtual events that she's doing. And honestly, like I feel like that's the best. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's a good way if you don't have the budget to travel. Because here in Southern California, there's not stitching events. There's no, like, I don't have an LYS that I can run to, or a LNS, whatever you call it. Like I don't have that. Like if I want stitching supplies, I either have to order it online or I have to go to Hobby Lobby
Yeah.
because my Michaels and my Joann's in the stitching department sucks. So I don't have the ability to meet other stitchers or to, I mean, you
Yeah,
have.
me and Heather both live in areas where it's not conducive for us. I have to travel at least an hour and 20 minutes to get to a local needle workshop. And they don't, the one that I go to the most, they don't have a lot of classes.
Mm,
They do one yearly retreat, and it's always first come those who have been there the year before,
mm-hmm.
and they only have 20 spots.
Oh, well.
And then when they do, if they do have a couple spots left, they open it like on a Monday at 8 a.m. when I'm at work.
Mm,
So I'll never be able to, while working, I'd never be able to get into that.
yeah.
Um, I do have a couple, like in each direction, it's an hour and a half to 2 hours. I do have Hirschner's, which I know a lot of people shop at Hirschner's. Um, that's an hour and a half away from my house.
Never step foot.
I mean, for the most part, it's online shopping with the catalog, like it has been since we were kids. So the stuff that's in the shop, I mean, yes, I can go in and get any color DMC I want,
Mm,
but otherwise, I mean, a lot of the stuff that's there at the outlet part of the business is stuff that's retired or stuff people didn't want,
mm-hmm.
which is fine. Like
Yeah.
I've done, I've got a couple patterns for latch hook that I like from that. I've gotten a bunch of yarn, that works great for kids' clothes and things like that.
Yeah.
Just to have actual classes or to have a stitching retreat near me. Bowling Green, Wisconsin, a lot of people go to the one down there, but that's a lot of sampler knitting or not knitting, cross stitch that I don't do.
Yeah.
That's not my wheel. That's not what I like.
Yeah.
I like a lot of things, but that's just not one that I've jumped on board with right now. So,
No, yeah, and like I said, I feel like the virtual is easy. You can jump in and out whenever you want, whenever you have to. Um, but
I
you
can
can
take it
do
on
it.
my cell phone and put it on my dash
Yeah.
of my car.
Yeah. That's what I did. I was watching one of them. I don't remember who it was, but I was watching a meet and greet, and I turned it on my cell phone and had it propped in my kitchen cabinet. Because I was cooking dinner. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this because I want to watch it. And I had it playing in my earbud, and Hector was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm listening to this meet and greet." He's like, "Okay." They're in the cabinet. I was like, "Well, you do what you gotta do." But
Yep,
I
and I
mean, yeah,
mine coming through on the car,
yeah,
and Justin just was like, "What are we listening to?" I was like, "The meet and greets."
yeah.
So
I would highly recommend it. Whether you have the ability to go to in-person retreats or meets or city groups or not, it's still something that's fun to do. And like I said, it's a $10 ticket. Like it's not like you're paying, an arm and a leg and
Yeah.
you can't participate. Like the first that's why. The first year I did it, the first year they had it, I paid the $10 and I couldn't
Yeah,
join.
you're barely there.
Yeah, because I was working. The second year I was like, no, forget it. I'm not gonna do it this year because I'm not gonna be able to join. So I didn't do it at all. This year I like made a point to do it. And this is the first time that I've done all 3 days and gotten really the most out of it. Like I I really thoroughly enjoyed myself. I was sad when it ended. I was like, I could do this. Yeah, I could do this for a few more days. But I mean, I I have plans to do other virtual retreats that Lindy's doing this year.
Yep.
Um, and that's not even her name, but you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, if you're able to do it, if it's something that you're interested in, I definitely recommend joining, like Nicci said, join the Jingle Ball Instagram.
And Lindy
Um,
Stitch's Instagram.
yeah. And she also, I believe, she also has a newsletter you can sign up for.
Yep.
And she doesn't spam you. It's
Nope.
like I texted Nicci, it was like maybe a week before. I was freaking out because I like normally they send you like an email saying, here's your link to get in, here's your itinerary, here's when we're starting. And I text Nicci, I was like, did you get your confirmation email? Like, or your itinerary email? And she's like, no, not yet. And then like the next day I got mine. I was like, okay, I'm over here freaking out because what's going on?
I was like,
Uh,
I have the link to go to the ball, so I don't care.
yeah. I was like, what's going on here? I need my information because everything is 3 hours ahead of me. Everything's
Yeah.
East Coast time. So yeah. Anyways, if you're like I said a million times, if you're able to and it's something you're interested in, we highly recommend it.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
And on that note, tomorrow's my birthday. You probably won't see this until
Till her birthday is either that day
that
or
day
the
or
day after.
has passed already.
Yep. So
Yeah, so I think that's it. We will continue our stitching and we will see you.
soon.
Well, yeah, 2 weeks is the third. We can do that.
And we have a plans video probably coming out sooner than that.
Yes, we have plans video, which I have no plans.
Newsflash, I have a bunch.
Are you surprised? Are you
And
shocked and surprised?
you do have
I
plans.
do have plans. I shouldn't say I have none. I do have plans, but nothing compared to what Nicole has,
No.
which is not surprising at all. And if you're shocked and surprised, where have you been?
We know you're new, and that's okay.
We know you're exactly. We know you're new. If you're shocked and surprised, we know you're new. Welcome to the shenanigans.
So we will
Okay.
wish you all a Merry Christmas or
Oh,
Happy
yes.
Holidays, however you celebrate.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy
Yep.
Holidays. And if you don't celebrate at all, have a good week
Yep.
and 2 weeks. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.